Hi, Acadiana. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. Welcome to the midweek. It's June the 12th. It's a Wednesday. This is Acadiana Weather Today. A short morning chat on the upcoming weather conditions and how they're going to affect your day. Really feels pretty nice out here this morning. Temperatures are still in the 70s, but the dew points have dropped off with the exception of the extreme southern sections down toward the coast where we have seen some more humidity there with an old front that's draped in there. As far as the sky cam, we've got generally fair skies here in Lafayette. There are a few widely scattered clouds that are out there, but really a pretty morning. And as I said, most of us have dropped into the mid 70s across Acadiana, but with the dew points a little lower and a little bit of a breeze out here too, actually pretty comfortable for the early part of June. And as we look at the traffic cams, no issues out there, a lot of sunshine and dry conditions, so I don't think you'll have any weather problems on your morning commute this time around. There are a few widely scattered showers out in the offshore water, so some of you along the coast in Vermilion, Iberia, and St. Mary, if you're looking south, you may see some of those big cumulus clouds. We've also got some rain over central Texas. There is a bit of an upper disturbance that will be moving out of Texas. You can kind of see that here on the southern satellite loop, a little bit of a rotation there in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, and that will swing across Acadiana today. For the most part, because of the dry air in place, most of us will stay with partly to mostly sunny skies throughout the day, but the coastal sections where that front lays, the upper disturbance could interact with that a little bit. So I think just like yesterday, showers and thunderstorms will be confined to the coast, but where those higher dew points are and where there's a lot more precipitable water, some of those thunderstorms could get hefty like we saw in some places along the coast yesterday. But that upper disturbance is kind of moving across central Texas right now, and by midday will be over Acadiana before sliding off toward the east. It's a fairly weak disturbance, so it'll bring a little more cloud cover and interact with that front down to the south. And right now the latest computer model showing just a couple of afternoon showers and thunderstorms there along the coast. So we'll keep the rain chance at 30%, really confined to the coastal sections, and inland parishes will reach the upper 80s today, while the southern sections along and south of I-10 should reach 90 degrees. As far as the tropics, we've been talking about a couple of disturbances and way the models have been shaping up for the next week or so. National Hurricane Center still watching the disturbance over the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico, forecasting that to go ahead and slide off into the Atlantic, but there's going to be a persistent flow of tropical moisture coming out of the Pacific and the Caribbean that will feed into the southern part of the Gulf of Mexico. And the Euro and the GFS models were still picking up on a trough building over the western part of the Gulf of Mexico this weekend or early next week. And the National Hurricane Center is now starting to pick up on that, giving a low chance for development over the Bay of Campeche over the next 7 days. Meanwhile, they will be monitoring that other wave that's there off the west coast of Florida as it moves into the Atlantic Ocean a little farther down the road. But just a quick look at the couple of models that we have, and this is going out to early Monday, so early next week. GFS has a bit of a trough and a lot of tropical moisture rather over the western Gulf, and the Euro looks very similar, also developing a bit of a low pressure area there either in the southern Gulf of Mexico in the Bay of Campeche or possibly in the eastern part of the Pacific. So something that we'll watch. But I would be ready for some widespread rains, maybe even some heavier rains coming in for the early part of next week as the pattern starts to change. And of course, we'll talk all about the models and everything else that the National Hurricane Center is thinking on Let's Talk Tropics. That's going to be live at noon right here on Acadiana Weather Today. So we'll run up to 92 degrees. Again, those afternoon showers and thunderstorms I think will be reserved for our coastal parishes this time around. But then a bit of a ridge will build in the upper levels for Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday, so that should keep us rain-free, but the humidity levels are going to be going up, and it looks like those heat index values will be getting up over 105 again. Not sure if we're going to be seeing a heat advisory, but there is a chance as we head toward the weekend. Just be ready for that, and then of course be ready for the chances for heavier rains coming in for the early part of next week. Well, I hope you enjoy Acadiana Weather Today. If you do, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on those notifications too. That way, when Let's Talk Tropics starts live at noon, you will be ready. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker.